So I call this project the Still Life Selfie because we're going to take objects of things that we like and create our own. So I really like playing lots of different games. So I collected some pieces from different games that I like. You can pick anything that works as a nice still life that it can sit in a place together for a while. You don't want anything that's moving around or anything like that. I just got a nice picture of it, which I put on my iPad here, which I'll show you. And then I'm actually going to use this to trace out my drawing. Notice it almost fills up the whole iPad as much as I can really get in an image. You could zoom in a little bit to make it. And I did it on a white background so that it was easy for it to have separate from what's around it. This is going to be black and white when it's done. So when I went in and just changed the picture to black and white so that it was a little bit easier to have it set up. I messed around with it a little bit to get what I wanted, and then just really just settled on black and white in the end. So once I have it set up, I'm going to take the pencil and put it on here. Now, I think you can turn your gestures off on there, but this is really about just laying your stuff on there. I found, you'll see here a couple times, I move my background with my finger through the paper. But my real goal here is just getting a layout with where things are. So I'm not having to focus so much on, do I have everything absolutely correct? Do I have it? I have it. It makes it easy so I have things laid out correctly. I'm not worried about my proportions. I'm going to focus here on making it look like what the things are. So I kind of switch back and forth. I look at it a little bit. You can see I tried a couple different things just to see what the differences would be. For me, the color or the black and white didn't seem to matter too much. It was about the same. So I just went and occasionally looking through here, I'm going to just lay out roughly where everything's supposed to be. And then once I get a good layout for it, I'm going to take it off the iPad. And here, from this point on, I'm still referencing it. I'm looking up at the picture that's above me to lay it all out. But now it's going to really be the shading and stuff, which you're not going to be able to capture through that piece of paper. I say this in every one of my videos, but I'm just going to repeat it. You do not need to watch this at full speed. I have it fast forwarded so that you're not sitting here through hours of me drawing different things. But a quick idea, you can always, it's a quick idea of how things are going. If you want to know how I did certain parts, just slow it down to check that out. For this part, I'm going through and outlining everything and making sure that I have it right. Um, I know that I have my proportions of the outline of everything correctly because I traced it through the paper. Now I'm going to use that to make comparisons to what's actually in the image and just trying to capture all those things. From this point on, it's mostly going to be about shading. So I had already figured out roughly where everything is, and so I'm going to go in there. The way I like to take care of it is define my outline and then try to capture the shadows. Now, I think sometimes with newer people that are learning to draw, they they do not take much focus on the shadow. And shadow is super important when we have these little objects like this, depending on what direction the light came from, that's going to make a big difference. If you want to make it a little easier on yourself, what you can do is take like a direct light, like if you have a little lamp on just one side of it to make some strong shadows so that everything's coming from the same place. I actually have a really well lit area because I'm recording this and I want, if you have a lot of shadows on there, you can see it makes it harder for the people viewing the video to see. I find as I'm rewatching this, what I ended up doing is actually kind of jump back and forth between outlining things and details, outlining things and details. Um, and the shadowing is kind of like you want to make it something that matches across the whole thing. It shouldn't be like, oh, a little bit here is you do a little bit and then you do a little bit and then you do a little bit, you do a little bit. You kind of want to do um, a good portion of the image at once and then go back and add some more all over the image so that things look even across the whole work of art. Once I started drawing this out, I realized that this card in the picture on my iPad actually looked really dark. So I did not go quite as dark as it would be on the image. Um, in retrospect, probably picking up almost all black thing wasn't that great. But I'd already got to this point, so I kept with it. The other thing to notice is that pretty much everything has a little bit of shading to it in some way. I don't ever like leave many areas just completely white. I think I do a little bit on the roads here. As I was recording, I think I bumped my camera or something, so I was off the page there for a little bit. But you can see here how this is turning out as I work on it. I'm not doing every single color matching perfectly. I'm just trying to make it all work together. Here in the end, once I'm feeling like, oh, I'm getting kind of close to the end, I'm going in and doing all the little details that feel like I missed out and trying to make the thing match as a whole across the whole image. Each thing that I draw looks like it was all part of one whole thing. Then as I come here, I'm kind of coming up to the end of it. I make sure and sign it. And then I took a little bit nicer image of it. I probably, if I was going to do this the best I could, I'd go back with it with eraser and just go around. You can see little marks here and there. Thanks for watching the video.